Hey guys, we are Sailing Satori. I'm Nick, and this is Kelly, and of course we have Arthur right here. We've been getting a lot of questions about this whole coronavirus thing, how it's affecting sailors and cruisers, and how we're dealing with it. Like most sailing channels, we are several months behind. We might be a little farther behind than most. You're not going to see anything coronavirus related in our next several videos. So one thing we wanted to do is share with you guys what's going on around the Caribbean and other parts of the world. So rather than just rattle off some headlines and some news bits, we reached out to a bunch of our cruising friends and other sailing channels, and we had them send some clips back to us telling us where they are and what's going on and how it's affecting them.
Hey guys, we are currently in Saint Martin, and in Saint Martin there is a French side of the island and there is a Dutch side, and both sides are responding to the coronavirus outbreak differently. So in France, everything that is not indispensable, I can't pronounce this word, to the life of the country is shut down. So all schools, all bars, all restaurants, everything is shut down for 2 weeks, and the Dutch side is a little bit more open, although
I
not
think
quite
it's
sure.
changing a little bit.
Everything is changing every 24 hours. So air traffic since yesterday is closed from Europe, from US, from the UK. There are still a few planes taking off here and there. Inter-island traffic, I think, is still open, but for the most part, things are very quiet here.
That's right. So what we're doing to stay safe is just washing our hands and staying on the boat. Pretty much all we can do.
We are a big bunch of cruisers here in the lagoon. There are, I think, like about 100 boats, and we're all pretty much staying in our boat. I think that there is a little bit of dinghy traffic, but I'm not sure what people do.
Yeah.
This has obviously impacted our sailing plans. We don't know where we go next. We are thinking about where we are going to escape hurricane season. We initially thought that we were going to go head north to the US, but I think that we're going to have to abandon that idea and sail south, mostly because I need a visa to enter the US, and as of now I cannot travel to the US embassy to apply, and I don't even think that I can get it. So that's our situation in Saint Martin.
We are currently in Martinique, and as of noon today we are under a mandatory 15-day quarantine, which means we can't leave our boats, we can't leave our homes. If we do, we need a piece of paper stating why we are out and about, which would basically be for food or medical care, and we're provisioned, we're good. We don't need to go to shore 15 days, we can do it. We're just following the rules. We want to be safe, we want others to be safe, and I think this may be as far north as we get this season. We were supposed to be in Montserrat today for St. Patrick's Day with friends, and then over to Antigua for classics and race week, and both of those have been canceled. So right now it's just a matter of when the borders reopen, can we get south again for another hurricane season in Grenada? So it's just a waiting game at this point.
Hello everybody out there. Hope you're staying safe and feeling healthy. My name's Joel and this is Michael. We are bums on a boat, and we're currently in Luperon, which is on the northwest coast of the Dominican Republic. Up until yesterday, the coronavirus has not affected our lives in any way, but yesterday the president of the Dominican Republic, he just closed all non-essential businesses starting tomorrow, which is Thursday, March 19th, and everything will be closed until April 1st.
What we're going to do to stay safe is just remain on the boat. We have plenty of food, water we can still get delivered, and we're catching rainwater as best we can. This has changed our cruising plans a little bit because we hope to go to Puerto Rico in the next weather window, but right now I think staying put is going to be our best bet.
Thank you, Nick and Kelly from Sailing Satori, for making this video. Everybody out there, just stay safe and be smart.
Be healthy.
Hi, yeah, we're anchored out here in Green Island. It's a nice little mooring field with an open ocean view to the Atlantic. Tiga had his first case of COVID-19 last week with no new reported cases. I think they isolated the person pretty well so far, is what we've heard. We're stocked up. The grocery stores seem to have plenty here. There's been no mad runs to anything.
Plenty of toilet paper.
Plenty of toilet paper. Yeah, the community is really like I would say respectful of each other here, and so there's been nothing dramatic, anyways, to worry about. So we've got our visas. They're for 3 months. We got here in February, so we shouldn't have to be updated until May. And we heard that can be a little bit of a process, but I guess we'll tackle that bridge when we get there.
So far, the island has canceled their Classics Regatta, which was scheduled to start the end of March, beginning of May. But other than that, it seems kind of business as usual.
Yeah. So hey, from Antigua, you guys have a great St. Paddy's Day. Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm Benita.
And I'm Yoshi, and we are from Sailing Nanji.
We're currently located in Langkawi, Malaysia.
And the current situation is we are anchored away from town. There's 2 other boats in this anchorage. Beautiful day, but we're just isolating ourselves away from other populations. And Malaysia has currently closed international borders to any flights coming in or out until the end of March. But yachts are allowed to leave, but where we would go, who would know, because everywhere's closed their borders.
Everywhere's just closing down. So we have a 3-month visa here, so we're just going to stay here until we can enter Indonesia. So we're just waiting on that call.
So Indonesia have cancelled their visa upon arrival for the next 30 days, starting from today, which means we're not sure when that will change, if we're allowed to go there in 30 days' time or not. As for countries onwards, our plans across the Indian Ocean, we have provisioned for that, and so we're ready for the zombie apocalypse, but whether we can head across the Indian Ocean is still questionable, as countries like Mauritius, Reunion, Madagascar, South Africa are all having restrictions upon their ports, and it's changing day by day. So at the moment it's best for us just to sit tight and wait it out.
So Langkawi have had 1 case of coronavirus. That was about a month ago. It was a 4-year-old girl, and since then there's been no cases reported, so we're in a pretty nice place to be. And we went to town yesterday. Everyone was still really relaxed. There's still food on the shelves. People aren't panicking or stressing out, and it was still a very nice vibe there. So most of the shops were shut. There was just a few that were open selling groceries and that sort of thing, but it's still, everything's still really
everything's still crazy. All marine activity has been shut down, so there's no tourism boats, there's no boats zooming around, no jet skis or nothing like that. There's only the couple of yachts in this anchorage, and there was quite a few yachts in town, but that's it.
It hasn't really changed our lifestyle very much, because we like to bob around on Nanji in the middle of nowhere, isolated from people anyway, so we're just enjoying it and staying calm and
just waiting for our visas and whatever reports are from countries in the future for if we can visit them or not.
Alright, hope everyone else is safe.
Alright, catch ya.
Bye.
We're here in Terre de Haut, the Saints, which is a small set of islands just south of Guadeloupe. Because it's a French island, we're following the French lockdown rules as of noon today. Only essential businesses can be open. If we leave our homes, in this case our boat, we have to have a form that says who we are, where we're going, and why, and it needs to be for a good reason, getting groceries and things. The folks who run the moorings here at Terre de Haut have asked us to leave as of tomorrow. They said the island is too small, it doesn't have a hospital, and they can't really support all of these visitors and guests. So, unfortunately, we're probably going to leave this calm, beautiful, peaceful anchorage to head back to Guadeloupe. In fact, it's already emptying out, and they're covering all the mooring balls so that people can't use them. We have lots and lots of groceries. Mike says I over-provisioned when we left Puerto Rico. Who's laughing now?
Not me.
We got plenty of food, we got rum, we got wine, so we're good.
One last provisioning today to load up on chocolate bars.
Chocolate bars. You can't have too many chocolate bars. Everybody stay safe, stay healthy.
Hey guys, Billy here with Tula's Endless Summer. We're in St. Martin right now. Well, I'm in St. Martin right now with Jetty, who's right behind you, our dog. And Sierra went to visit her family up in Florida, but unfortunately she can't get back to us because St. Martin closed the borders to travelers from the States along with a bunch of other places. We're stuck here for now because I'm in the middle of rebuilding our engine. One of our engines, and as soon as I'm done rebuilding this engine, I'll be able to sail up to the United States Virgin Islands and meet Sierra there, but everything's changing daily, so who knows. Right now, the French side, I think pretty much all the businesses are closed on that side except for maybe the grocery store is still open. Apparently the supplies are dwindling anyway, and the Dutch side seemed pretty good, except apparently at the end of business today, they decide that they're closing all unnecessary businesses on that side. So apparently on the French side also you need a piece of paper to be walking around town, like that states the reason, like only if it's absolutely necessary for you to be out and about and walking around. We have a bunch of friends in this lagoon. Ryan and Sophie Sailing are right over there. Bo and Brandy are around the corner on the north side of St. Martin. So we have a lot of support, and you know, we're a pretty tight community, so if we need each other, we have each other here. Yeah, things are just weird right now. I just went to the food store today to provision, just as if we were going sailing, you know, out in the Bahamas or on a long offshore passage. So I'm fully stocked with provisions. I could live on this boat for like 2 months and not have to go and get any more food or anything like that. So yeah, hope you guys are doing good and hope everyone's staying healthy and making the most of this crazy situation. So yeah, I'll if you guys want to stay up to date with what we're doing, you know, just follow Tula's Endless Summer or Tula's Endless Summer Sierra on Instagram, or type in Tula's Endless Summer on YouTube. Thanks guys, I'll talk to you soon.
Hey guys, we are Bo and Brandy, and this is our pup Una.
And we are on SV Saoirse, currently floating in Grand Case Martinique, and that's in the northwest corner of the island.
Current state of affairs are pretty chill here. There are people enjoying themselves, walking the beach. The one thing that we did notice that the restaurants are closed.
Pretty much for us, staying safe means that we're just doing our life normal. Came to Martinique last week knowing that we were coming here to do some boat work, get some things ordered in, do some diving, making sure Una's getting her walks. So we're pretty much just doing that. We're just staying on the boat. We are ordered by the government that we shouldn't be leaving, so we're trying to adhere to that.
The one thing that has impacted us is we were looking for toilet paper the other day and we weren't able to get any.
And the bigger thing that we are being affected is that my family is supposed to fly into Puerto Rico. We were going there originally to visit them, but we're no longer going to do that, and that's pretty much the only thing that's changed our plans. So we hope that all of you guys are doing okay.
Staying safe.
Sending lots of positivity to you guys, lots of sunshine, and lots of air hugs. Bye.
Bye.
This is Kim on Sailing Vessel Mimsy. My husband Jason and my son Benjamin and I are here in Antigua, where we've been since the beginning of March. Antigua has installed some new regulations, as most of the islands have. Recently they've decided that all new vessels can only check in St. John and a Heritage Key, and then there's a requirement for an additional health screening, as well as some more paperwork regarding where you've been for your last 6 ports and when you got to the Caribbean. I'm going to read this so I get it right. Also, no foreign nationals will be allowed entry if they've traveled to Italy, South Korea, Japan, Singapore, mainland China, or Iran in the past 28 days. We had plans to visit friends in USVI starting around April 1st. We have to see how these changes affect our plans. We aren't in a hurry to leave Antigua because the grocery stores are stocked and there's one confirmed case and there's not really any panic, so it's a good place to be, and we'll see if our plans change to jump to the USVI anytime soon.
Hey there, Sailing World. Captain Dan here. My wife Diane and I are charter operators here. We take people sailing on the Gulf of Mexico, up to 3 trips a day. And we were asked to make a short video to see how this coronavirus is affecting our business. You know, there's a lot of us out here trying to make a living with the wind, and to give you an idea of what's happening here in Fort Myers Beach, Southwest Florida, what should be 6 days a week and 3 charters a day, we're down to 1 to 2 charters a day, with cancellations coming in at a pretty rapid pace, anywhere from 3 to 5 cancellations per day of all the charters that were on the books for the rest of March and the beginning of April. Luckily, we had a good January and February, and the weather gods and everything else aligned for us, and we had a great January and February. But yeah, if people keep canceling and this keeps on keeping on, we're going to have a tough little summer ahead of us here when things slow down. So all we can ask is that hopefully people remember to keep on sailing, go out with charter guides, and experience sailing. That's all we can do. We'll make the best of it, but yeah, it's really happening. It's affecting people. So hey, good luck out there, everybody.
This is the Crabby Captain and the Sunny Sailor here. We are in Antigua. We are very thankful that we have been here for a while. It's really nice here in Antigua, and the provisioning is great. The stores were well stocked with everything, including toilet paper. So we don't feel like we're really missing out here a lot. Maybe it's just hasn't hit here yet. Social distancing is kind of normal for people on a boat. We usually anchor out and the boats are far apart. You come to shore to either visit with friends or do provisioning. We don't know what the future will hold. We don't know how long we'll be here. We do know that we won't be leaving Antigua because of the fear of not being able to get to any other island. And that's logical to stay where we are. So we hope all of you are doing well and staying safe. And I know people are scared, people are worried, and quite frankly, we are all not knowing what really is going to happen in the future.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Stefan, and I've been wearing this mask because we've been told to. So the coronavirus, guys, is an absolutely crazy thing that's going on. Try and refit the boat. Try and get a boat back in the water in a country that you don't speak the language for, and everything is shut down. Literally, supermarkets, the ferreteria, everybody is just gone like it's an apocalypse right here. It was actually fine until about a week ago, and then everybody just vanished. So I just started a new channel called The Paperboat Project. That's on YouTube. Go check it out if you want to see how we get this baby back in the water. She is a 1976 classic William Garden boat ketch. And she used to be a paperboat dream, and now she's a real boat. So people have been asking, how do you guys do there in the Dominican Republic with the coronavirus? And it's really interesting. Literally a guy came out on TV. I think he was a prime minister. And he said, guys, we have a cure. We know exactly what you guys need to do. An orgasm.
Tener orgasmos, pues, contribuye a prevenir el coronavirus. Tener orgasmo usted con su pareja o tener orgasmo masturbándose de manera individual.
I'm like, what? Literally said everybody should have orgasm. So I'm really scared of going into public places right now. And when I see no one in the streets, I'm kind of wondering what everybody's doing. Well, that's Latin America for you. Guys, be safe and check you on the water.
Hi, this is Joni on board Sailing Vessel Life Uncommon. We are in St. Martin and Marigold Bay, and my husband Scott and I, we were just watching the Coast Guard stopping some boats, dinghies, out here in the harbor looking for their derogatory travel forms, I believe. That's a form you now have to be carrying with you, and you have to have your boat papers and passports and things with you when you're traveling about St. Martin, as it is in a pretty much lockdown mode right now. All businesses that are not essential to life, as they say, are closed, but restaurants, some are doing takeout, the grocery stores are open, gas stations, pharmacies, so anything we need we can still get. No worries there, but you do have to travel around with those forms and know where you're headed and why. And so we're abiding by all the rules. Everybody here is doing a pretty good job. A lot of cruisers here, and we're just waiting it out. We know we can't move to other islands because most of them have closed their borders. We will wait until it's okay to move again, and then we will kind of move and travel and live under our quarantine flag as needed. We are planning to go to Grenada and Trinidad area for hurricane season. That's still in the works, so we're hoping that that works out for us. So good luck to everybody else that's in similar situations. We're well stocked. St. Martin is a place of provision. We had already done that, and so we can ride this out. Hope everybody else can too. Take care.
I'm Hannah.
I'm Patrick.
We are Sailing Sojourner, and currently we are in Georgetown, Exuma in the Bahamas. Our current COVID-19 updates have been changing in the last few days. Actually, this morning we were just kind of planning what our future will look like.
They're beginning to close ports. People are starting to self-quarantine. A lot of the shops are closing.
Georgetown is kind of the place in the Bahamas where people decide whether they're going back to the States or they're going to head south. Our original plan was to spend hurricane season in the Dominican Republic.
As of right now, the Dominican Republic's closed its ports to incoming cruising vessels. We're gonna have to see what that looks like come July. I don't think it's a problem for us to remain in the Bahamas for the time being, but if it becomes one, the plan is to jump back to Florida. It hasn't been too bad for us. We haven't seen many effects, especially because it's so easy for us to isolate ourselves here.
We have a good amount of supplies on board. We just refueled yesterday. Yeah. It's just a bit of a waiting game.
Anyway, that's it for us.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys. First, we'd like to reach out to everybody that is being affected heavily by this. Our hearts go out to you guys. We are pretty isolated down here, and so it's hard for us to understand the severity of what's going on back home, because right now we're in Costa Rica and we don't see a ton of effect. A little bit. The local bars are still open, restaurants are still open, people are still surfing, but because Costa Rica is such a tourism-based country, some of the resorts are definitely shutting down. We have a buddy, they're shutting their doors on Friday.
So it's slowly getting into effect as far as the severity of everything. Affecting us, really, there's no change from our day-to-day lifestyle, really. We normally are on the boat, just the two of us. We go to shore occasionally to go out to eat or get some food, stock up, do some inland adventures. So it really isn't anything different from before.
No.
Everything is changing day to day. As of yesterday, Costa Rica shut its borders. So a friend of ours will no longer be able to fly in, who was meant to come down and sail with us for about a week.
Yep.
And as far as the foreseeable future with our cruising plans, we had hoped to cruise all the way up to the north part of Costa Rica. We're on the Pacific side now, actually, and sail off into Mexico at least by May.
I don't think that's going to happen anymore.
So,
we're not really sure, but
we're just going to have to keep our options open.
we're going to stay put in Costa Rica for the time being, I think, is how we're being affected the most by this. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, stay
Cheers.
safe. Thanks.
Our boat's name is Wind Therapy.
Our boat is at the Harbridge Marina, which is only like 4 or 5 steps down from where Nick and Kelly used to be. And we've been going back and forth between the boat and the condo, which is just a few blocks away.
We are practicing social distancing.
Social distancing. We're not making out with old people anymore, because that's...
Did you really just say that?
We don't drink Corona. Any sort of Mexican beer we won't drink at all. It's just rum. So that's important to know.
Yeah.
We have a shitload of toilet paper, but that's not because of the coronavirus. We just have that normally.
Lucked out.
Yeah, so we got a lot of toilet paper, and really, what else do you need? We have rum and toilet paper. We're still gonna cruise down in October. We're gonna start our cruising life. In the meantime, we're just gonna maybe go to Dry Tortugas a few times, and that's really it. But besides it being a bit crazy and everyone's kind of nuts around here, we're just kind of taking it easy and living life like normal, as normal as we are.
Hey dude, that crazy Arturo wants us to send a video. Yo bro, what's it supposed to be about? Dude, he wants to know where we are and what's up. Our peeps brought us to Lee Stocking Island in the Bahamas for some serious chilling and chasing the ball in the water. Dude, they also want to know what we do to stay safe. Bro, tell them I'm going to stay away from those nasty island cats. What scratched my face the other day. No, dude, I think they want to know about Corona ice. Bro, just tell them we don't drink our Coronas with ice. Sweet, keep chilling.
The coronavirus. Obviously, it's really messed things up. We are currently down here in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and it's been crazy how fast this has all escalated.
Yeah, so Puerto Rico, they have 5 cases in Puerto Rico, and they're shutting down the entire island. You know, no work. The only things that are open are gas stations and grocery stores and banks and pharmacies. It makes things really difficult because we had our inverter charger had a malfunction on it. So we actually ended up having to go buy a battery charger that we could plug in to charge batteries, and it still wasn't enough because only a 10 amp. The only place we could go to buy anything was Walmart. And so we had to buy the cheapest little battery charger they had, which says it's 10 amps. It wasn't.
We're ready for the end of the world.
The only issue we would have is water. And I think that will be relative. I mean, we can go a month or more with the water we have right now. So we'll have to fill up water tanks. So what we'll do is we'll just, you know, when we get down to about halfway on our water, we'll go to a marina and fill up.
Make sure we're always have at least that much.
And we're getting out of Puerto Rico too, because love Puerto Rico, great place.
It just makes things really inconvenient and a lot more difficult for us. So we have the choice to get out of here, and we're gonna take it.
Yeah, so we're gonna head to the U.S. Virgin Islands. We're gonna skip Culebra and Culebrita and all that because
I'm really sad about that.
It's still part of Puerto Rico, and Puerto Rico is not letting anyone travel or do anything.
Yeah, they're locked down over there too. So.
And it's just, I mean, we need boat parts. We can get them in the USVI. USVI doesn't have any cases. It's been 4 days since we've had any contact with people really, other than maybe a trip to the grocery store.
Yeah.
So I think we're fine, and we're gonna go to the U.S. Virgin Islands where we have friends there, and we're just gonna go hang out, drop anchor by a beautiful beach and just chill.
We're getting out first thing in the morning.
Yes, we're gonna leave first thing in the morning, dark and early.
We left St. Martin about probably a little over a week ago, I think it's been. When we were there was at least 2 confirmed cases and 2 unconfirmed.
That was when we first really started to get on our radar, and we started to have some concerns.
But nothing was on lockdown. The borders were still open and all that stuff. So we sailed to St. Croix. We decided to stay there a little bit longer for their St. Patty's Day parade. It's the biggest event there of the year. Unfortunately, it got canceled.
It's supposed to rival like Chicago or New York St. Patrick's Day party, but the parade was canceled like abruptly, like the day before.
Yeah, we mostly stayed on the boat because we had a really good view of the boardwalk. So there were still people out dancing and having a good time, but very small crowd. After St. Croix, we were on our way to Puerto Rico because we actually had family that were coming to visit. In the past couple of days, all our plans got canceled for Puerto Rico. Our family canceled their plans, and that kind of changed our course as well. Puerto Rico shut its borders. They let us know that customs would not let us in. They're on a total lockdown.
Before we left St. Croix, you know, things were pretty chill and they seemed business as usual outside of the parade cancellation. But we were able to provision and do a lot of shopping on St. Croix, and we stocked the boat with a couple months worth of food, and you know, we didn't have any trouble fighting lines or getting toilet paper or anything like that. And so for the most part it was pretty chill, and we decided to sail up to St. John. Actually this morning we did it.
It's a little more protected than St. Croix. There's only like 2 options there.
And Arthur likes the beach.
Oh yeah,
really,
and of course
the main reason.
Yeah, for Arthur. We've been just, you know, following all precautions, washing the hands, not hanging out in a big crowd of people, staying on the boat a lot. That's why we provisioned heavily.
Really, it's kind of business as usual for us too. I mean, we're hanging out on the boat, we're doing some editing, we have some boat projects, and really we're just not out mingling. That's the only difference.
Our plans going forward, they've actually always been sailing back to Florida, St. Pete, our home port, as they say. It's still going to be our plan. Hopefully, if all goes well, we can get there. Maybe a lot less stops than we planned.
Right. We just don't know exactly how we're going to get there now, depending on how long these things last, what countries we can get into. If Puerto Rico's still locked down, we might have to skip that. It sounds like the Dominican Republic might be locked down. Who knows for how long? Also the Bahamas. And then eventually we'll end up back in Florida before hurricane season really kicks in. You know, we've been at this 3 years now, and it's time to go back home and regroup a little bit, replenish the cruising kitty, and then also we have some, you know, just personal business we need to take care of, things that are difficult to do as we've been sailing around the Caribbean. So in the coming months, we're gonna have some really big news about our plans for next season. And they include some opportunities for our viewers and fans to get on board Satori and do some sailing with us, which would be really awesome. We're not gonna get into those details today in this video, but just know that some of that is coming up. Just want to send a huge thank you out to everybody who on such short notice sent us other clips and other sailing channels that got involved. And I think you made this a really interesting video and very informative for everybody out there who really wants to know how this affects our lives.
Please, everyone, stay safe out there.
Thanks, guys.